Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com, and go find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Make sure you check out. It was sitting on the screen, and
Twitter, and Hive.
it was on the upcoming thing, and then it updated and kicked me on live.
Well, yeah, because we're live.
Well, I know that, but I wasn't prepared for it to be doing that just yet.
Mm.
So I apologize for her loud mouth.
You do it every time.
And why'd you start off sounding like the lunch lady?
Because I needed to drink my water, but it came on right when I was going to drink. So
she's had a very traumatic week.
It's been busy. I don't know if it's well, I guess it's traumatic for some people.
For you, you're all.
I'm okay.
You're now. Your week was traumatic.
Sick. I was just so sick.
You were scared. You were sick. You were stressed.
I didn't die, so thank you.
Have a butt scan.
Thank you, Jesus. I didn't die. I can show the picture. I can share the pictures later of my colon. Everything's okay. All right, we are going to talk about movies and something that thought it was a movie. I think it's a high school project, but we're gonna get there.
Wow.
Sorry.
I'm gonna be you today. Wow. You've seen way worse than that. What is that dog chewing on?
Her bacon.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's her bacon.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was over here.
Well, the last time she was chewing on one of my figures when she was in our other house.
Sabine, do you got a bacon?
Sabine, what do you got, Bubba? Come here.
No, because then she's gonna want to come over here. Where is it?
I don't see anything. That's what I'm concerned.
Hey, what are you getting over there? It's in her mouth.
Come here. What do you got? Okay, that's it. Go ahead. About your business. All right. She has history.
She does. Watch her. She's
not a bad dog. She doesn't destroy a lot of things, but every so often she gets a hold of something and think nobody stops me.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, "This is mine." All right.
Anyway, what we got, sister?
Well, here are our options for today. Wow. Do you want to start there?
Sorry.
We only have a few short
like 4 movies.
Yeah. Right. So I had them in this order. I think
that's fine. I mean, that's the oldest movie, even though it's a new release.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. That's a you thing. All right. So our first movie is the 1990 film Blue Still, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. What is his name? Joel. I always want to say Joel Silver. Ron Silver. Joel Silver is a producer, director. Ron Silver and Clancy Brown. It's directed by Catherine Bigelow, that most of you know from Zero Dark 30, Near Dark, Point Break. She's been married to James Cameron, that kind of thing. So anyway, this movie is just getting through. Lionsgate is releasing it on Blu-ray for the first time, I believe. It was part of their Vestron collection, which I believe Vestron put this movie out. Vestron went bankrupt years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if Lionsgate bought out their catalog or if they bought Vestron and restarted it.
Oh.
I don't know, because it says Vestron on the release too. Yeah. So I almost think it's like a collection brand. So anyway, it's a movie from 1999, so it's an old one. But you had never seen this one.
I'd never seen it.
And I don't remember seeing the whole thing. I remember this poster. I remember the movie. I worked at a video store when this movie came out.
Maybe they were playing it.
And I remember it being on the shelves, and I used to, I have vivid memories of tons of movie posters and stuff, of movies that I'll tell you that I've seen. And then I go to watch it, I realize, you know what? I never actually watched this movie.
You just put the poster
I just saw the poster and looked at the box so many times, I convinced myself I'd seen it.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those. Until we watch it, I remember pieces of it.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if y'all had it playing on the thing.
Possibly, but it's kind of violent, so I doubt it, because they were picky. There was always stupid kid movies or something playing. Super annoying. True. But so it felt like I was revisiting for something. Even though I knew the story, I remember seeing it. But as I watched it, I didn't remember all of it.
Yeah.
So, but you're fresh into it. You didn't know this movie existed.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about it. So,
what were your thoughts on Blue Still? Why don't you tell everybody what it's about?
So first of all, it's about Jamie Lee Curtis is a rookie cop. Her first day on the job, she takes out a robber. There's a big
played
robber.
by the late Tom Sizemore in one of his earliest roles.
And from there begins her. I guess her weird relationship with this cray-cray person that was at the scene. Let's just go with that. And it begins this whole weird thing, like an obsessive whatever.
It's a game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, it's like an obsessive guy that's obsessed with her, And it's weird because in a way I feel like he sees her as a hero because she took this guy out, and he's like, oh, it was so cool, you just shot it and you didn't think
But
about it.
I don't think he saw her as a hero. I think he saw her as, you're just like me, and you without thinking you can kill somebody.
Oh, well, I don't know. He was a little cray cray.
I think the film too, it's interesting because this film's got kind of, it's two parallel storylines. It's her being the rookie cop, dealing with the situation, dealing with people not wanting her to be a cop, people not believing her. What's the word I'm looking for?
Not
thinking she deserves it because she's a woman.
They don't have confidence in
confidence,
her.
That's the word.
And they don't really believe her story.
And so you're seeing her navigate that world. Even forget that crime and the shooting, that world. And then also dealing with trying to date, but people being put off because she's a police officer.
Yeah.
Then you have this guy who, through that same experience, the same day, takes a whole different path of something that he might not have taken, but probably would have in some form, in some way, whatever catalyst.
Cray-cray.
And he just kind of goes off the rails. And so they kind of do this until they kind of come together and go on this same road of insanity.
But then, too, it's interesting because she has some family trauma that she's dealing with, too. And kind of the reason why she became a cop. And her own family isn't even happy that she's a cop. Like, they don't even show up for her or congratulate her or anything. And so she's really kind of fighting her family, trying to date, and that doesn't work. And even her own officers at the precinct and stuff don't really believe that she did everything by the book. They think, oh, this rookie just messed everything up. So it's just her really fighting. So it's kind of a female empowerment story of the 90s a little bit. But it's also a really good story of that guy being cray-cray. And, I think in today's time period, it might not be as easy for the guy to be as weird and crazy because we would have found him on social media.
Yeah, we talked about that. There's a moment where like they share a cab the first time they meet.
It's like a meet cute.
First time they meet, they share a cab, and then he's like, well, "Why don't you come have dinner with me?" She's like, "Okay." And then normally be like, "Why would you go anywhere?" But back in the day, that's how you met people, and that's how you went on dates. You meet somebody at the bus stop, and you get to chatting, and then you're like, "Why don't we go have coffee sometime or go to?" That was normal.
It was normal in the
dating
90s,
process.
Yeah.
It wasn't
it's
weird.
It's scary now. I wouldn't go
like
anywhere.
Nowadays, if you didn't meet him on the internet or if you didn't talk to him on Facebook for 17 years first,
it's
like wait a minute, you went on a date with somebody you met in person?
You can still be catfished, though. I don't know. Dating seems like a scary prospect these days.
It's hard still.
I wouldn't do it. I'm going to be alone. If you weren't here, I'd be alone forever. Wow. Why are you trying to date? You better not be. I'll smack you.
If you would stop being so selfish and let me date, things would be easier.
Would it?
It's so exhausting.
Anyway,
but Ron Silver, who I think is outstanding in this movie, he plays crazy. He's very mimicking the son of Sam.
Yes. There is a basis.
What do they call him? The 44 killer or the 45 killer or something? And they actually refer to him that. He's not that character, but he is that character kind of thing.
Based on it, kind of.
So this movie's not a son of Sam story, but they kind of based the idea of that character on that thing and then kind of incorporate into this weird game of cat and mouse and drama and craziness. I found it interesting that initially I was kind of put off where there's no secret or real twist to this movie. It's very straightforward. You know exactly what's going on. Like early on, you don't know what he's up to.
Correct.
You're like, and then the first time he does something, then for the rest of the movie, okay, he's crazy. But that's by design. It's not a lack of mystery. It's just telling you this is what's happening. So then you're more shifting on.
Why don't they know what's happening?
Yeah, and how's this going to play out? And I think it was to help you make you uncomfortable. So when they're sitting at dinner together and you know who he is.
Because at first you're like, does he know? Does he know who she
is?
Because you asked him like, doesn't he know? And I'm like, I guess he doesn't. But then you figure out like, it was a game the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's creepy.
Man, it was a good movie. It's one of those. This is the kind of genre of the cop thrillers that we don't get a lot of these like this anymore. And back in the 80s and the 90s, these were par for the course. Every single action star, every person wanted to try to make something different, did these movies.
Yeah.
A lot of times there was a twist. Sometimes there was just straightforward action. There was a lot of movies with like the beat cop they got sucked into something that
Big,
they
elaborate
normally
thing.
should be a detective or a SWAT team involvement or something, and they're now
There's always
have
these
to do. So
stories.
it's generic on that turn, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
I don't think
It's
it
a
did
really
well
good
when
movie.
it came out, but I'm glad it's getting like a new push, and
Yeah,
especially since the new generation knows her from the new Halloween movies and everywhere,
that's all we
every day,
know.
all at once, and movies like that popping up again. I think it's nice to get a
Yeah,
release
to
to
see
her.
something different.
That she did something more than Halloween movies.
Yeah, she's not just Scream Queen, which she is, but she did more.
True Lies.
Yep.
She did a lot of stuff. Anyway, Blue Steel is available now on the Blu-ray.
Yep.
Moving on. Oh, to your favorite.
No, I was so looking forward to Crocodile Island.
Really?
I really was, because in my head I was like, man, maybe it's like a Sharknado, or maybe because you see kind of, I know, but you also see like the pterodactyls, right? Yeah. Like one of my favorites. I was like, man, it's like you go back in time and you're on this land of the lost kind of island, and we're fighting to survive, and we are
trying to survive to get through the movie.
But it's rough, friends.
So here, I have a little bit different experience with the movie. I agree with you that a lot of the effects are really bad. They're not well. They don't mesh well together with the real world. They look like video games. They or just bad CG. And sometimes I'm okay with that. When you watch something like a Sharknado, Sharktopus, Mega Sharks, Piranhaconda, these kind of whack movies, you expect that insanity. The Asylum built an entire brand on that. And the effects are usually cheesy and bad in those things. My issue here was, I don't know if you ever finally finished all of it or not.
No,
but
I couldn't.
There's effects in it that aren't as bad as the crocodile. The problem is the crocodile is the major catalyst, the Godzilla-like of this movie. And you get spiders, you get pterodactyls, you get all these other things.
Like the pterodactyls beginning look good.
And the spiders are actually kind of cool. But every time that crocodile shows up on screen, it is bad.
It's really bad. That's why I said it looked like somebody high school college project.
It looks like somebody took a film and then they did a computer crocodile, and then they just made it walk onto the other film. Like it's not. Doesn't even look like it's part of the same movie, and that's where it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Because from their performances and the story, feels like there might have been a good story in there, and potential to be a fun creature feature.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
It's not that good.
I
think it's one that will find an audience with the people that do like those kind of movies.
Totally.
Because it is cheesy, it's goofy. Don't get me wrong. I would lie if I told you that I didn't enjoy watching the crocodile kill people and do stuff. It just looked bad.
Yeah.
So it became laughable bad.
Yeah, it's just too bad. I was really trying to get into it because I was excited to see it. Like giant crocodiles, who doesn't want that? But
I think I mentioned that this movie probably would have worked better had they done the entire movie as a CG animated film.
Maybe so.
Like with animated humans, everything.
Yeah.
Then it probably would have worked a lot better.
Yeah.
But if somebody gets a budget and wants to remake this movie and do good effects, I bet you this could be a cool movie. But where it stands, it's pretty bad.
I still don't need to. And I want to know who Mr. Lin is and why we care so much about his
You got more
opinion.
out of it than I did. I didn't even get all that out of it.
Yes, because the one guy's like, oh, it's Uncle Lin. And like, Mr. Lin will find us water. Like, everybody was so dependent on Mr. Lin. So who's Mr. Lin? I need to finish the end of it because I'm having a hard time, guys. I was falling asleep.
And I love these kind of crazy films.
I do too.
Especially sometimes the worse they are, the better. They're those guilty pleasure cheese films. But this one just sucked into this movie.
Yeah.
Not even in the joke of it, not even the badness of it. I just was like,
but you know what? There's going to be a group of people that really enjoy this movie.
I hope there
you
is.
do. I hope you find it.
Yeah, I hope it does because I know people that love these kind of movies, and I hope this one works for them. I just don't think the effects in this one aren't even as good to me as stuff like those other ones.
Yeah,
like those are bad effects, but it looked like they tried.
Yeah,
and I hate saying these people didn't try.
They tried. I'm sure
it just felt like maybe they did the effects before they shot the movie.
Oh, and then they tried.
You know what I mean? And some of the actors didn't connect or didn't mesh well with it, so it just didn't work for me. It sucks, but
it happens sometimes.
It is what it is.
So,
but if you're one of the people that want to try to figure it out and want to watch it, you can go to our website
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
And you can win a copy of it because we've got a few to
Free
give you.
copies.
That's right.
And there you go for the people who say we like every movie and always say something good. But
I'll always say something good. I'll try to find something good in every film. But yeah, this is just not.
It was a rough watch.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's okay.
Pretty rough.
It happens.
Anyway, Crocodile Island is available. I think it's this week.
Comes out this week on the video.
Yeah, it comes out this week on Blu-ray and DVD.
And we do have free copies to give away.
We do have copies to give away. So if you want a copy of it, you have to enter the contest. Just email me and say, "Can I have this?" And I'll just send it to you.
There you go.
I think we have like 5 copies to give you.
There you go.
So anyway, moving on.
Next. The new Disney Plus movie, Dashing Through the Snow. It's our first Christmas movie of the season this year.
It is. Starring Lil Rel Howery.
Lil Rel.
And Common.
No.
Sorry, Ludacris.
Ludacris.
I just watched a different trailer with Common, so sorry about that. Ludacris. And, what is her name? Hold on. I always forget her name.
Rambo.
I know, it's something Paris. Tiana? Yeah, Tiana Paris, who is just currently starring as Monica Rambeau, aka Photon, or whatever they're going to start calling her in the Marvels. She has a smaller role in this movie. What is the movie about, my love?
Dashing Through the Snow is the story of Ludacris, who's having kind of a rough time connecting, I think, with his work and his daughter because of his work, and he's trying to stay focused on work, but by that he's losing connection with his daughter.
And he hates Christmas.
And he hates Christmas because you see in the initial flashback there that his family was robbed during Christmas by a fake Santa.
Mama.
And so Lil Rel shows up, who is, as you see in the trailer, Santa. And he doesn't believe he's really Santa. He thinks he's a crazy person. And craziness does ensue because there are some other people that are chasing Santa. And yeah, it's all over.
And so let me get the way, because I know there's got to be people that complain about it.
Why? Because he's Black Santa?
Yes. I'm sure somebody will be like,
black.
He can't be black. It's Santa Claus is not black, blah, 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 blah. And I was a little worried going into this that not only were those people going to be like that, but also was it going to feel like it was just a forced black Santa? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know the stereotype is that Santa is white, blah, blah, white beard, blah, blah, blah. And when you change it, any kind of iconic character like that, I just want to make sure it feels like it's natural to the story. It's something that didn't feel like the filmmakers went, you're going to watch a Black Santa movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was not this movie. This movie it is what it is. It just lets things happen and it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
I actually had a blast with this movie.
You know, I never even thought about him being Black Santa.
Well,
I was in the story. So,
no.
I understand.
I only thought about it because of the existence of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, we're going to get this forced, and I didn't have a problem with it. I just don't want the movie to feel like, I have the same thing on any topic. I don't want to watch a movie that makes it feels like it's trying to tell me what to think, what to do. I want it to just play and let me absorb it how I will.
Yeah.
If it's got a dove on it, usually it's hard for me to sit through because...
You don't like dove-approved movies?
No. Most of the time, there are some. Most of the time, not. I try to go in with open-minded. The problem is if there's a dove-approved movie, more often than not, it's a forced religious preach movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment in there where there's going to be some religious preaching, but you also get movies like The Martial Arts Kid that was dove approved. So they exist, and I don't even mind a movie about what was that movie? What, Jesus Revolution?
Yeah,
fantastic movie.
That was a good movie. The one with Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, and it had that same idea in it, but it was telling a story about that, not feeling like it was trying to force me into that.
Correct.
Right. I know that's kind of way off the course of this, but I liked that this film didn't even really feel the need to address, like, aren't you supposed to be white?
Mm-hmm.
It was just is, because they played up on you can't really be Santa more so than that. And I think there's an element where they discuss his beard, because his beard is white at the bottom but black, like roots kind of thing. And I think that was the discussion. And I could be reading too much into it, but I think the beard became the discussion of the black and white.
The black and white thing.
As opposed to the color of the skin, because the little girl's like, it's your beard supposed to be white, and then he discusses it, and so he kind of explains it away. But also Santa Claus is this magical thing, so Santa Claus can be anything how everybody sees it. if you want to get technical.
I mean, technically, Saint Nick was Greek Orthodox, but okay.
No, I know that. I'm talking about the mythology of Santa Claus.
It doesn't
with magic.
That's never bothered. Even when, like, if you went to the mall and there was a black Santa that day, that's so never bothered me because it's Santa. Like you said, it's a magical thing that we just want kids or even adults to have Christmas spirit in the idea of giving. Like, I don't care what color Santa
I always kind of thought
whatever,
with this whole Santa white, black, whatever thing, I would assume if Santa Claus is a magical being that can come down to your fireplace and run all this stuff, why wouldn't he show up at the house looking like the people he's at, the house he's in, so that they can connect and they can see? They're not supposed to see him at all.
Like Korean Santa.
Yeah,
or whatever. Mexican
that's the movie we
Santa.
need to see, is the Santa Claus that changes all the time.
You know who should be Korean Santa? The guy from Kim's Convenience in Star Wars. That guy. I love him. He's so sweet.
Anyway, so let's talk about the storm. Sorry, I went off into a whole racist thing on this. Dashing through the snow.
A comment on being not racist about it.
Yeah, this is true. I didn't think this movie was going to be good.
You were not even really excited. You're like, let's watch this.
I was like, you're going to watch this? I like Ludacris. I love Little Rel. But I'm not big on Christmas anything unless it's action or killing in Christmas.
Worst Christmas movie?
Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life.
I knew you were going to say
both those movies. They're just so boring. Stupid. Anyway, so we start watching. This movie's fun.
It is a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was funny. It was stupid. It was silly. It was magical.
It was magical, but they kept it lighthearted. There was the fun with the people that are chasing Santa, and then there's actual Santa chasers who are not bad people, but they're like
storm chasers.
Storm chasers, but they're Santa chasers. They're tracking him in the sky and all that, and it did have a lot of Christmas fun. It reminded me when I was a child, I swore I saw Santa's sleigh go through the sky. So I was following like those Santa chasers, the good ones. It's like, I believe these people. But I liked it. And the little girl was not annoying. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was a kid that was actually like trying to be helpful. And she's not just making a bunch of dumb decisions all the time. She was thinking things through. It was a kid with a brain.
Yes,
we don't get that very often.
More than the dad.
Yeah. So. But the dad situation with Ludacris, his issue wasn't so much of being stupid or not thinking. It was lack of believing, because he didn't even believe in Christmas, let alone Santa Claus or anything else.
Like, he was trying to avoid the day entirely, but was making it difficult for his daughter because she was trying to get into the Christmas spirit, and he was just like completely shut down.
When I like Lil Rel because he's over the top and not over the top at the same time. And he says stuff, and instead of ho ho ho, he has more of a chuckle. But he'll say something and be like, well, that's why he said, well, we don't do that because this. And it's like he's quick wit. It's just a normal quick wit. It's Lil Rel being Lil Rel in a Santa suit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ludacris getting into the everyman vibe. It's a fun movie. I think it's a great movie.
It is. So grab your kids, watch it. It's on Disney Plus. Hello.
Yeah, it's a family movie. Everybody can watch. Everybody can have a good time.
Fun. I really like it.
And it keeps you guessing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
there's
who are these people chasing him? Are they actual elves? Thing. Are they Krampus people? Are they just normal criminals? Are they government people? You don't know, so you start speculating because they're questioning. Mm-hmm. You start questioning him. Is he actually Santa Claus, or is he somebody
crazy person?
Is he somebody from the North Pole that's not Santa Claus, that's disguised as Santa Claus, or is he just a normal guy and he's just crazy? No.
Like Ludacris is, he works with the police. He's one of those people.
He's a counselor
who the police call.
He's just a counselor that they call him to talk to people that are maybe a little off.
Yeah, so he starts to be. So then you start questioning: is this guy actually
another one of the people that he would help?
Yeah,
which makes sense why he would come to him, because that's his job, and so
it's just crazy.
Yeah. It's a fun flick.
It's fun.
Dash to the Snow is available now on Disney Plus. Get over there and have some fun.
All right.
With some Christmas fun.
Next. Here you go.
What's next we got?
The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Oh my, really? Oh, hold on.
What are you doing?
Sorry, go back. I apologize. I hit the wrong button.
Are you messing up the entire show?
I'm sorry. All right. Did you pull out all the Hunger Games?
No, we're not pulling out all the Hunger Games.
All right. So this film takes place approximately 60-something years before the games with Katniss Everdeen and Peeta and all them.
Fatness Neverleen.
So we are in the past. It's a prequel, my friends. and it is actually the story of Snow and how Snow becomes
Jon Snow?
angry old man Snow, not Jon Snow.
Oh. Here's what I gotta tell you something.
Angry old man Snow.
I gotta tell you something hilarious.
Okay.
So watch the movie. I haven't watched the Hunger Games since they came out.
I watched them earlier this year.
I won't watch them again because I thought about it. I was going to try to force myself to, and I'm like, I just can't do that. I can't put myself through that. And so I'm sitting through this whole movie. I'm watching it, and I understand what's going on and everything else. And I know this is a prequel, and I know we're leaning up to a lot of other things.
Oh Lord!
It wasn't to the final scene of the movie when he's dressed kind of like more what we see in the other movies as Donald Sutherland. I went, oh, that's President Snow. It never even clicked
that they said his name.
No. I knew his name was Snow through the whole movie, but it didn't connect that President Snow was even a character in the old movies.
Yes, because he's an 80-year-old
I
man.
get it now, but at the time, I'm so disconnected from those movies.
I see.
That all I was thinking was Jon Snow the whole time, and so I wasn't really thinking. I knew it wasn't.
You're literally thinking Jon Snow.
No. I know it wasn't connected to this, but I mean, when I'd hear Snow, I would hear Jon Snow, and so it was kind of blocking my memory of those old movies until I saw him, and I'm like, oh, he's that President Snow. I was like, is there a President Snow?
And then you're like,
I asked her when she came out, I was like, is Donald Sutherland and that old President Snow? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that was that guy.
Yes. I'm like, yes.
So I had my stupid moment, but it's also, again, I'm not engrossed. I don't like those other movies. I think they're not good. I'm still hostile over the Battle Royale situation with it.
Yes, I agree. Total rip-off of Battle Royale.
I think Jennifer Lawrence is fine in them. I think some of the action's fine in them. I think Stanley Tucci's awesome. I just don't like them. I don't find them exciting. I don't find them engaging.
Good.
I don't find them interesting.
I watched them not recently. I mean, I watched them earlier this year, so at least more recently than you. I really like Jennifer Lawrence, and I like all of our main characters.
I do like her.
Like the crazy, what's her name? Like all your big main characters. I like it, and I like the story. I hate PETA. Sorry, because I know she ends up with PETA.
You hate PETA Bread and PETA.
I just don't like that guy, and
Josh
I don't
Hutchinson's
like him.
Okay.
I don't like him in the story, and
I don't like him
horrible.
in that
that whole part of the story just lost me. So anyway, don't like any of that. So I'm not as hate as you. You're hate. I'm love hate.
I don't even hate them.
I just don't
think they're not even good, and I'm like, I don't understand the popularity of this.
Yeah.
The hostility of the first film and knowing that it's. I've always said blatant, and that's probably wrong. It's not a blatant ripoff of Battle Royale. I'm sure there was some sort of inspiration somewhere along the lines.
Except the lady completely denies
the lady says she's never even heard of it, and that is possible because people do come up with similar ideas a lot. There's just so many similarities that it annoys me.
If you want to see a really good one, go watch Battle Royale. It's much better, well done movie. It's different.
Well done. It's not
a different movie.
Yeah.
With better kills and some blood and guts.
Definitely better kills.
Because in Hunger Games, you don't see anything.
No, Battle Royale, they're all rocked. They got a collar on there, and then when they lose or they go through where their head blows up. That being said, knowing my disdain for those movies, I didn't hate this one. I actually found this one more interesting than the original movies, only because I still found it like whatever. But I found it interesting just seeing like the inner workings of setting up the games and the people behind it. And, plus I think, Jason Schwartzman, Viola Davis, and Peter Dinklage are outstanding in the movie, even though Peter Dinklage didn't get near as much enough to do. I thought seeing them talk about building this game and changing this and upgrading this and Viola Davis is like way over the top. In kind of a fun way. Those elements I actually found this movie more interesting than the other movies.
I don't really like it.
The new one?
It was okay.
I agree with you.
I think it's too long. I think it's slow.
I do agree with that.
There's too much random singing for no reason.
Oh my God, the singing was killing
me. It was killing me.
And you're a singer.
I am, because I think... like when Katniss does it, she sings one time, and it's very poignant, and it's very dramatic, and it brings you together, and it sets the tone. Like it's so moving in the movie.
And the first song, and the first song for this one,
and this one too,
is the same.
I think if it was that one song plus the Hanging Tree song, that would have been enough. But she sings like 5 times.
This movie becomes a musical.
It becomes a little cringy.
Yeah, it's kind of laughable.
Awkward, so awkward.
It felt like, I agree with you on all those points. It felt like moments that instead of us dealing with Hunger Games or this world, we were setting up When We Can Sing Again. We were setting up to promote an album that was going to come out for this movie. That's all I felt like. It was going to be a new folk album.
Yeah.
You know, and her singing is good. It's not a knock on the lady singing.
No.
It just became basically almost a musical at some point. You know, not a, I'm going to play the Hunger Games. Not like that, but it was, did you like that?
Yes.
But it was just too much. And then it's in relation to what you said about it being too long. It is. The movie seemingly ends. It pulls the Lord of the Rings on you. It ends
this, and then it's like, oh, new story.
Like the end of the Hunger Games part of the story ends, and there's still another hour of movie left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh my God, there's still another hour of this. And it felt like it was a little all over the place. I felt like there were people that forgave and or connected way too fast. I think their relationship went from enemies to almost lovers in like 3 scenes, you know, and it didn't feel like the rest of the people that were taken to play the Hunger Games felt like the people the way she should feel. But for some reason, even though she's the most defiant, because this guy's talking to her and he's like, oh, you're pretty, we'll talk. You know, that's what I got from it. And I don't know. Did you know that 2 of them had a relationship in this movie?
Who?
In real life.
Oh, no.
Who do you think it was?
Is it them 2?
I thought from the way we saw the red carpet thing.
But it's probably him and his cousin.
Nope.
Oh.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw a little interview, it's her and the guy back there.
Oh, the Hispanic guy?
The annoying friend.
Yeah.
It was supposedly them, because apparently he was passing like love notes to her on the set while they were filming and stuff.
My goodness.
It was funny.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I don't know if they were officially or how it was or what relationship they had. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw a whole video thing about it, of him talking about it. It's a dull movie. It has moments that are exciting. It drags on too long.
It's long. I thought it was a little bit dull.
It's like 2.5.
I was really trying to care, but I think too, unfortunately, perhaps in my mind, I am seeing or feeling like that strong Katniss Everdeen spirit and being defiant, and she's District 12, and so is this girl, but I'm not seeing that same fight, and you expect it because she even does the same move as Katniss, but I'm not getting that same thing.
No, because she's a folk singer instead of a rebel.
Yeah, so
it's like if they made the Hunger Games starring John Denver.
Somebody's like, read the book. The movie isn't bad as much as it is bland and soulless. So
this
from
is
someone that read the book, yes.
Okay, I didn't know she put out these books.
Yeah. It's a prequel book. There is a book.
I didn't know that. Is there more than one of them?
Of this one?
Of this prequel series?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It says delivers the basics of the book, but is not evolved. Ugh. And then the one guy, what's his name, is actually 2 characters combined.
Who? Jason Schwartzman?
Yeah. So I don't really know if we get an answer about how it progresses to get to Stanley Tucci unless we read the book.
That whole thing made no sense because I don't know why he couldn't just be Stanley Tucci.
Because Stanley Tucci's not that old, is he?
But I mean, fine, but whatever.
Who knows?
I found
people who read the book are saying
I found him to be a blast to watch. I thought the way he carried the scenes, especially because he's supposed to be like commentating like Stanley Tucci did about the Hunger Games. There's a great moment because he's like the host, reporter, and weatherman. And so one of my favorite scenes of this whole movie is it cuts to him doing the weather. And then a character dies in the games, and he pauses and he's like, oh, it looks like such and such died. It's a very dramatic moment. Then he goes, and as the winds push into the east, that was genius.
He was good.
Yeah, he was great. Like I said, Peter Dinklage was great.
He's always good. He can't do anything wrong.
Viola Davis was great, even though she's a little over the top. I can see people not liking her, but I thought
she purposely said she wanted to be over the top.
Yeah, and I found her to be the most interesting character in the entire movie because everybody else was just boring.
Yeah, it's just, I don't care for it. I would go watch the other.
Dollar Store Ryan Gosling he was fine in the role. I don't know. It was dull.
It was, and we were there. I feel like we were gone for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because we also went. It was a premiere event, so we were seeing all of the red carpet stuff, and then the movie.
That poor girl
just too long.
It was a horrible interviewer, but she was also getting, in her defense, she was getting all the most soulless people, like had no life or energy to interview. She's
Mm-mm.
talking to them, they're just like,
Mm-mm. It was rough.
and she interviews Peter Dinklage, and she tries to mention an archive thing or something he didn't even do, and he's like, to correct you, I didn't do the voice of such and such because I don't want to take away from whoever did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then before it fully cuts away, you can see him go back to apologize to her. Like, I hope I didn't embarrass you for calling you out.
No.
But
oh man, it was rough.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
It's not horrible, and I think if you're a super fan of all of the series and maybe even the books, you're gonna enjoy it. I don't know. Some people didn't.
I don't know if they make another one, if I would go to the screening. I don't know if I can do that again.
You'd wait for it to come.
I would watch it when it came out just so I could see it, because I mean, I like seeing where these stories go.
Poorly.
I don't think we chose. I only chose it for you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gone at all.
Yeah, I feel bad. I chose poorly.
But I know it's a big thing.
That was 4 hours.
And if they do another one and they could fix a lot of things, it could make this movie better.
True.
Because this movie is how I also feel about the majority of the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, really?
Yes,
See, I love all
I don't like really any Harry Potter movie past 3.
Mm.
I think most of them are boring. They're repetitive. I especially dislike the final 2. I think it was just a missed opportunity with a lot of elements that they just skimmed over because they're too busy wanting to watch Harry Potter fight Voldemort or whoever. And I feel like those movies as an entire series work better.
Yeah.
So I didn't hate those movies either. I get bored watching them past the 3rd one.
Mm.
So.
Oh, well.
But this one was just on par with the other ones, so I dislike them all.
You disliked all of them.
I dislike them all of them equally.
There you go, equally.
And I was hoping, because it was a new cast, new story, that maybe this one will engage me, and I like it because much like Lord of the Rings, I don't like the original 3 Lord of the Rings, but I actually enjoy the Hobbit movies, and I know that's not a popular statement, but it's because something's happening in those movies. Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of dwarves, not like little people dwarves, but like mythical dwarves. Yeah. And so I felt like I was excited in those movies, and I know they're not great. I know Lord of the Rings is iconic, but it is what it is. Such is life.
Yeah. So anyways, The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is out in theaters now. Check it out if you're a fan.
If you're not, head for Z Hills.
Mm.
Excuse me. All right. Coming out this week on the Blu-ray and DVD. We're not to that yet.
Why are you yelling at me?
There's a few things coming out because it's Thanksgiving week, so they tend to try to drop stuff getting ready for the holidays. So we have Saw X, the 10th entry into the Saw franchise, which that we love.
Saw 10
is available.
Loved.
Expendables 4.
I loved it less than the others, but I did love it.
I loved it.
You loved it a lot. That was okay.
Expendables 4, which you have not seen yet.
Have not seen. So I'm excited.
I'll
be watching it soon. Oh. No?
It's okay.
Oh, no.
There's elements I love, but it's not the Expendables, and that's what bothers me. So we've talked about it on the show. I'm eager for you to see it.
Okay, I'll watch it this week.
And I'm knowing what I'm getting now, I may enjoy it the second time around. I didn't hate it the first time around. Never mind. We're not going into that again.
Okay.
The Fugitive with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones is getting the 4K treatment. It's coming out this week.
Nice.
And Oppenheimer, which is a fantastic movie.
I'm excited.
But it is a talkie movie, so it's not like about the chip things, but like people talking. So I do believe it would be classified as an acquired taste because I can see people getting bored with it, but it's filled with such fantastic performances. I think it's outstanding.
Okay.
Also, Farscape, the complete series, is getting the Blu-ray treatment. A Police Academy collection with all 6 Police Academy movies, which I'm currently making my way through them. Again, I haven't seen most of them in forever. Silver Bullet is one of my favorite werewolf movies. The Stephen King werewolf movie with Gary Busey and Corey Haim is getting the 4K treatment. And Resident Evil is getting an ultra 4K box set release. The Mila Jovovich movies are all coming to 4K in a new box set. They put one out already, but I don't know if this is a different version or if I don't remember. But anyway, it's a brand new box set. That's pretty much it. The rest of it's a lot of just other random stuff, re-releases. It says on here that this is coming out, but it doesn't come out until December 12th. So
all right, so we'll hold that.
I'm not going to mention it, so you don't have to get confused with people out there.
Okay, guys, there is so much happening at the theater and online. It's a big week, actually. So coming out on Tuesday on Netflix is a movie called Leo.
Oh yes.
It's Adam Sandler and
It's Netflix,
it's Netflix.
Yeah.
It's an animated feature. It's a family film about a lizard named Leo, who's in Florida, and he learns he has 1 year to live, and so he plans to make his escape and get out there in the world. So that looks a lot of fun. Coming to video on demand and digital, this movie looks really interesting. It's called Do Not Disturb. It's this couple that have been together for a while. They've gotten married and they go to Miami for their honeymoon. Well, while they're there, something kind of crazy happens to them. Oh, they go take peyote, but the peyote is kind of laced with something and it makes them go a little bit crazy. And it sounds like just craziness is happening and people are in and out of the room and all sorts of weird things. But she ultimately realizes that the way to be happy in her marriage is to consume her husband, but like
I see that.
literally.
Yeah, I can see
That's
that.
going to be crazy. Coming to Prime Video this week on Tuesday, as well as the documentary Bye Bye Barry. It is about the journey of Barry Sanders, if you're into that sporty stuff. Also on video demand and digital, a movie called Liberty. This is interesting. It's a guy who holds these people hostage in a cage, but with the purpose to deliver a message of freedom. Crazy. It's a thriller. It sounds weird. Also on video demand and digital, a documentary called Relative. It's following this Italian American family over the decades and reveals their decades-long multi-generational trauma and secrets. So that's going to be an interesting look into this family. Also, new to Hulu this week is the series Obituary. It's about this lady who writes obituary columns at the newspaper. And she accidentally kills a person, and then, craziness ensues because it says it unlocks some bloodlust. Eek. Coming out on Wednesday, just in time for the holiday, coming to theaters, the new Disney movie, Wish. So if you've been seeing the trailers about
I forgot that was
the guy in the town is the wish maker, but he holds all of the people's wishes and then releases them when he thinks it's appropriate, but he holds all the wishes for himself until one day a girl makes a wish on a star and it comes true. Also in theaters, we will be talking about this one, the new movie Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Does he do this?
He does.
Okay, good.
It's directed by Ridley Scott.
There you go.
I do want to, if we're warning on that movie, they don't talk about ice cream at all.
Not Neapolitan.
Very upset.
Coming to Peacock on Wednesday, it's a movie called Genie. This guy comes across the genie, and he has a chance to fix all of the mistakes he's made in his life. So
that never
see.
goes well.
That's not going to go well. Coming to Paramount Plus, Good Burger 2. Yay! Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Is that Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited.
I know what we're having for dinner that day.
Good Burger,
or lunch,
because
we'll probably be doing
you can go to where? Who's having a Good
It's
Burger?
Arby's. I believe all of Arby's. They have a Good Burger
Menu.
meal. It's a strawberry shake, crinkle fries, and a hamburger.
I'm going for my Good
all things that Arby's doesn't sell.
They have crinkle fries.
No, I know, but they don't normally. But that's a new thing because Arby's was always curly fries.
Yeah.
They added crinkle fries. They didn't have normal hamburgers. I know, but they only had normal hamburgers. I mean, didn't have normal hamburgers. They were all roast beef.
Roast beefs.
So that's kind of interesting.
I'm excited. Coming also to Apple TV
It's gonna be
Plus.
hard because I always get the beef and cheddar.
Well, you're getting the Good Burger meal. Coming to Apple TV Plus is the Velveteen Rabbit. So the story is now coming out as an animated feature.
Not a good thing.
You don't think? Okay, to
Yeah,
Apple
Velveteen
TV
Rabbit.
Plus.
And that, oh no, that's not the one.
No.
I'm thinking of Watership Downs.
No,
Never mind.
The story.
Forgive
okay.
Ignore me.
Coming to Netflix. This one looks really interesting and kind of creepy. It's a movie called I Don't Expect You to Believe Me. It's this guy and his girlfriend are leaving Mexico, going to Barcelona because he's traveling for his PhD. While in Mexico, he's investigating this criminal underground network and he gets involved with them and they inspire him to write this novel. But, you can't be writing these things about these people. It says it takes his life into a really sinister, dark realm, and his life and the book and all this stuff. Yeah, it looks crazy and fun. All right, then coming out on
Oh,
Thursday,
goodness gracious.
on Thanksgiving Day, there is a new movie dropping on Disney Plus, The Naughty Nine. It's about this group of kids, and they've made their way onto the naughty list, and they find out that the only way to get off it is really to take on the Christmas spirit and learn about giving instead of taking all the time.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at this Arby's meal to see what they have.
The
So they have the Good Burger
meal.
meal, which is exactly what I told you, the hamburger stuff. But then they have the other versions. They have like a big cheesy bacon burger, the deluxe Wagyu steakhouse burger. Then they have the regular fried mac and cheese bites,
Oh,
stuff like that. They've added all the limited time stuff.
that's fun. All right, coming out on Friday. There are still some things coming out on Friday on Video Demand and Digital. I don't even know if I want to touch this one. It's a movie called Big CGI Gator.
Bad
CGI Gator. And I was like, that's what the other movie should have been called, that Crocodile Island. But this is these guys, it's these college people or school people. Is it school or college? College grads. They go on spring break to a cabin. They decide they're getting rid of their laptops or throwing them in the lake. They're just going to go have a fun time, not knowing that there is a gator out there. And it's called Bad CGI Gator. But you know what? At least it's setting me up to understand it could be a bad CGI gator in this movie. Crocodile Island.
True.
Coming to Netflix, The Last Call for Istanbul. It's a romance. These two people meet, have an unforgettable night. They meet at the airport on the way home, and we'll see what happens. And I think that's it for this week.
No, it's because Thanksgiving, so it's going to be short on Friday releases.
But everything comes out on Wednesday.
The two big ones is Napoleon and Wish.
Yeah.
Sad news just popped up.
Oh, no.
Actor Josh Ackland, which may not sound familiar to some of you, but he is the main bad guy, the South African villain in Lethal Weapon 2.
Uh-huh.
And he's also the main villain in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
It says he's in...
he's passed away.
The Hunt for Red October.
Yes, he's been a lot of stuff. Those are the two main ones he is.
Aww.
He's the guy that's like diplomatic immunity.
Yes.
That guy. He has passed away at 95.
Oh, poor thing. Yep, it just said
He was
right
old
here.
back
Passed
then.
away today.
Yep.
That's too bad.
Anyway, am I up then?
You're up.
So we got some new giveaways. We got a whole slew of all new giveaways this week, mostly.
Oh, hold on.
No, it's not all new. It's mostly new though. So we got a couple of copies of Expendables 4 to give away, as well as the Equalizer 3, the final chapter of the Equalizer thing. Is it not up already?
Yes.
Okay, just sorry. You were saying wait a minute, so I thought I was messing you
I had
up.
to click a thing.
And then next we have 4K copies of The Fugitive, as well as Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman.
That looks really cool, dude.
Which is currently available on Hiya.
Hiya!
But we'll be talking about that movie eventually soon, as well as giving it away. And then, of course, for the holidays, we still got a copy of Scrooged and The Nun 2. Both good Hollywood, both great holiday film favorites for the family.
I'm going to tell you, this Nun thing has been following me around for weeks.
What do you mean?
Like, earlier I was doing the slides, and I was trying to hit save and go to the next slide. It would not switch from the slide. She keeps staring at me. Earlier, when I turned the TV on, when it scrolls at the top of new movies.
Was the Nun there?
Nun was there, and I was trying to go down on the remote, and it would not change.
Well, you also were watching a bunch of horror films, so it's probably starting to read your algorithm.
And Lord.
It's the newest one on there. So
it's like, I'm tired of seeing her picture. Like, stop it. Just stop.
Well, look at Bill Murray instead.
I can't.
Have you seen Scrooged?
Yeah.
Which is his take on the Scrooge?
I want to say yeah.
We should watch it because it's a great movie.
Okay, because anything to get rid of the Nun. I'm over. That movie scares me.
I'll make a deal with you.
What's that?
The next thing contest I put up will end the Nun contest.
Thank God.
So if you want to win a copy of the Nun 2, you better get on it ASAP because someone is ruining it for everyone.
No, I really am scared of the Nun and Nun 2. Those movies do scare me.
You're scared of real nuns.
I am scared of real nuns. They creep me out a little bit.
Anyway, that's what we got going.
That's it, our friends. Thank you so much for watching. Woo! Hi, Peter, my love. Hi. There's a dog here on the table. You can see his little facey. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. As always, check out the website. Go to the contest button to see all the free stuff. And we will see you next week. Right, Vader? Right.
Right, Mom.
Okay. Peace out, friends.